I decided I wanted to talk to you today about my journey to becoming a teacher. I'm going to begin by saying please, please, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll get started. Well, my decision to become a teacher is rooted in a whole lot of what I needed. And I thought, like, okay, before I get started, I might cry. So I just want to say that it is emotional because most people go into education because it's a job, it's a career. But I am actually there to give back. And I know it's kind of cliche, but that's why I decided to become a teacher. My reason for becoming a teacher is because when I was young and I was growing up, I grew up in New Orleans. And I grew up in uptown New Orleans. And you know, in New Orleans we go by wards. I was in the 10th ward. I was in the St. Thomas. If anybody know, it's a lot going on. A lot going on outside in the environment, and a lot going on inside of the different households and stuff like that. And when I would go to school, to be honest with you, that would be my safe haven. And my teachers, they didn't know that I found solace in them. And the fact that they weren't from where I was from, and they were different, and they were down to earth, but they chose to teach in our environment and chose to teach us. And I always was wondering, wow, these are some cool people, because they could have taught anywhere, but they teaching us. And we had a whole lot of bad children, and you know, like I said, I didn't want to curse on this channel, but bad A children. And those children was tearing up elementary, they tore up middle school, they tore up high school, they was tearing it up. They was fighting, disrespectful, and all of that. But there were certain teachers that just was the ish. Okay, so when I would go home, you know, I would go home, I'd do my work. I was very studious because I just wanted my teachers to like me. I wanted to learn from them. And in elementary school, I ran a lot of errands. I did all my work. I don't even remember ever making any bad grades because I just loved school. And I became bullied in third grade, and I started to get bullied. And I started to get scared of school. But there's a side of me that's really, really timid, but then there's a side of me that's a fighter. And every time I get bullied, that fighter side will come out, and I will fight back. And not all the time physically, but mentally, like, they're not going to break me. They're not going to break me. And I had to do that a whole lot, you know, where I'm from. Just say, you know what, I don't need to fight. They're not going to break me. And what I decided to do, I said, you know what, I'm going to think my way out of this. And every time I did. And as I grew up, my teachers were like the models of women who were strong, who had the strength, who were not a part of that environment, but just really, really different. They swag was kind of like, you know, they dress up every day. They came together. They came put together, okay? You weren't going to play with them. They didn't care where you were from. They didn't care how you talked, who your mama was. They came to school, they taught you, and you went about your business. And to be honest with you, that's what I kind of bring to my kids now. It's not that I have any type of magic or anything. I just kind of understand the environments that I teach in, understand what I need to be in that environment, and I just really wanted to fasten myself behind those type of women, just strong, beautiful women. And to be honest with you, I had a mixture. I had a mixture of black women, and I had a mixture of white women who was just not putting up with it. And we had a lot of books and a lot of things to kind of keep us occupied. And now the curriculum in school has changed, and I'm like, okay, I decided to teach at the age of 35. I know. I was so late in my journey to become a teacher, because teaching wasn't as obtainable to me as going into business, or I wanted to be a corporate trainer somewhere, like do PowerPoints, do presentations, and just really put on a business suit and go and kind of do like training for like the plants, or like for different big companies, like the airport, or anywhere, just corporate training. And I'm like, that was my goal. And I was at a school, at the school that's here in Lake Charles. It's called McNeese State University. I was accounts managing there, and I did the leasing and accounts and the students living on campus thing for 10 years. And then I say, you know what? I got my first master's. I say, you know what? Let me figure this out. I have a daughter, like I told you in the last video, she's 4 years old, and I really have to solidify what my career would be. And then I decided, okay, now is the time to go into teaching. And I hadn't graduated in teaching, so it's like, okay, who are you? What you going in with? Like, you about to go into teaching. What knowledge do you have of teaching a curriculum to them kids? And to be honest with you, I didn't have the knowledge to teach a curriculum, but I had the knowledge to teach. And I came in as a teacher that was more about teaching you how to behave, how to live socially, how to be outside of the classroom. But inside of the classroom, I had a lot to learn. And so I went for my second master's, and that one was in education. So I learned how to not only teach the kids socially, but teach the kids how to be their future self and the curriculum. So now I'm excited on the road and the journey that I'm on, like when I'm teaching and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, it was a hard curve. I became a mentor teacher at my school, and I'm like, wait, am I prepared for that? I'm like really not into like the adult part of this thing. I came into teaching because I wanted to be a role model, and a model like my teachers were for me, to kind of escape what I was dealing with at home, what I was dealing with in my environment. So it's like that wasn't what I want, but God has other plans for me. And to be honest with you, I'm excited about those things. I really don't know what all it maps out to be, but just trying to be here to keep it real with you and tell you it's been hard to really keep myself steady involved in what's going on, because teaching is different from when I grew up. We had books, and we had a lot of things kind of given. We had vocabulary, we had a whole lot of stuff that has been taken out of school in the form that I know it to be. So this has been a hard curve for me, to be honest with you. I was born in the 80s, and so I was in school in the 80s and 90s, and things, there was this big push on making sure like these little Title I schools, and these little schools that really didn't have a lot of resources, and these disadvantaged or schools that's trying to become diversified, make sure they have books, make sure they have materials, make sure they can take home this to their parents, this and that. These days it's almost like, whew, make sure they get the curriculum as rigorous as it is, and you really don't have too much to send home, because everything is going to happen here, because we can't trust it to go home. And I feel some type of way about it, to be honest with you. And I feel some type of way about it, but I can't change what's happening. And I'm not a millennial, and I don't know what has happened, and I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm trying to be the type of teacher that instill intrinsic fight and struggle for your education to students. External, with giving you a candy and praising and all of that. Yeah, they tell you that's so great to do for kids because that's where they at. But to be honest with you, I really want them to come in and leave me hungry for more education. For don't just award me with a piece of candy because I did good. I really want those kids to really just be excited that they're learning. I want them to use their big brain, and that's what I tried to do. I want them to get to the heart of things. I want them to use their big brain. I want them to make smart choices before they leave me, and that's what I really kind of focus my attention on, is really, I think about the whole kid, and I think about, okay, yes, I got to get this curriculum to them, this math, this English, science, social studies to the kids, but also I'm teaching future adults. And in my presence, I have to really become almost motherly like in the way that I handle my kids. You know, I'm like, now you know you're wrong for that. You need to go check yourself. You know, and a lot of people kind of frown on that because it's almost like, well, you know, you could have made a smarter decision. And I'm not real soft. You know, I didn't grow up soft. So it comes off as a motherly, very firm, but I'm kind and I'm loving to those kids. And I would give them anything if I had it. And because, like I said, I always remember what my teachers were to me. They were very firm. But they got across the curriculum, but they also taught us how to become better humans. And my kids, I always talk to my kids at the beginning of the year, I'm going to love you all year. I'm going to love on you. And I will always tell them to remember this one thing about me. And this one thing, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all my secret, is we're going to have fun, but I don't play. Okay? And I'm like, what you mean? What you mean? I'm like, we're going to have fun, but I don't play. When I ask you for something, I want you to deliver. When you need something from me, I'm going to give it to you. And when I need something from you, I want you to give it to me. It's called mutual respect. So we're going to have fun in this classroom. We're going to be live. I'm going to allow you to move. You're going to talk. We're going to collaborate. We're going to move. We're going to have fun. But I don't play. And I learned that from my teachers. I learned that, you know what, there's a time and a place for everything. The biggest thing that I know I'm trying to work on is being more consistent in having an organized flow of things, because I'm more of a mood person. Like if my kids showing me that they're really not feeling how I'm delivering it, I'm quick to like, okay, let me switch on my mood. Let me switch on what I'm doing, kind of get them up out their seat. Let me just check the temperature of things, and they really appreciate that. But that's not organized. It's not part of it's part of just understanding your environment, your culture, and the kids that you're teaching. And I love them, and I know they love me. So at the end of the day, thank you guys for listening. I know that was a little longer than my previous videos, but I just wanted to kind of open up about why I decided to teach and why I will continue to teach. And thank you for watching. Bye.